The Sergeant-at-Arms will please secure the chamber doors. Members, please take your seats. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. President.
All right, Senators, we are very pleased to have with us today Rabbi Deborah Wexler of the Hizuk Amuno congregation in Pikesville, Maryland, guest of the distinguished senator from the 11th District. Please rise for the invocation.
Good morning. My name is Rabbi Deborah Wexler. I'm a rabbi at the historic Hizuk Amuno congregation, the first conservative Jewish congregation in Maryland, founded April 1st, 1871. I'm honored to offer the invocation today. God of justice, we come before you with humility and a spirit of cooperation as we embark on our holy work. We give thanks to you for the blessing of our great nation and our great state of Maryland. What a privilege it is to labor on behalf of those whom we represent. Here we are their voice and their hope. From our common faith and our shared scripture, the prophet Isaiah inspires us with his words, "Take counsel, execute judgment, make your shadow as the night in the midst of the day." We leave our own wishes and desires in the shadows as we raise up the needs of our constituents. God of the downtrodden, guide us to honor you by honoring others, by caring for one another and doing the work of God on earth. We give thanks and ask your blessings upon those who serve our sovereign state of Maryland. Governor Wes Moore and his cabinet and staff, Senate President Bill Ferguson, President Pro Tem Malcolm Augustine, the leaders of each party, Senators Nancy King and Stephen Hershey, and upon each individual who serves as a Maryland State Senator today. God of stories, help us keep in mind the personal narratives of each one of the more than 6 million residents of the great state of Maryland. Their lives tell the story of our state and provide a guide for serving them faithfully. In these inspiring days of new beginnings and hopeful potential, we are mindful of the privilege of serving you and serving others. Bless the work of our hands, the work of our minds, and the work of our hearts. May God grant strength to God's people, and may God bless all peoples with peace, and together we say, Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chair recognizes the senator from District, the Chair of Finance, Chair of Education, Energy, and Environment.
Almost right. Senator from the 11th District could not be here, but she did send me a note. She very much wanted to be here, but made the point, first female rabbi ever since 1999 at the synagogue, and a really, really important part of the community in the 11th Legislative District, and she wanted to pass it on. So with that said, we move that the remarks of the rabbi be journalized. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator, very much, and without a doubt, we will journalize the wonderful invocation this morning. Thank you so much. Has everyone recorded their presence in the chamber? Who is available? It appears so. The clerk will take the call. With 42 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is now in session. Senators, do we have any introductions today? Any introductions? Yes, Chair recognizes the Chair of the Committee on Energy, Education, Energy, and the Environment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Up in the gallery, I've got two guests. Caroline Hecker, who works for me, does a fantastic job in my office, and she has with her today, all the way from Westminster District 5, her mother, Lisa Hecker. Wonderful. And there's also a circuit court judge in the family, Hecker, from Carroll County as well. I'll give him in absentia an acknowledgement. Thank you, Mr. President.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator. Yes, Chair recognizes the Senator from Westminster.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Hecker family is a wonderful family in our community, and Judge Hecker does an outstanding job serving us in our circuit court. And welcome today. Enjoy your day in Annapolis.
Wonderful. Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Yes, Chair recognizes the Senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Mr. President. Like many of us here, I have a new staff member that I'd like to introduce. Kara Dudley grew up here in Maryland before spending almost a decade moving around the country with her active duty spouse. Wherever she landed, she always made it a point to give back to her community through volunteer work. She specifically focused on supporting young military families as she knew firsthand how challenging it was to raise young children very far from home. Since 2016, she's been back here in Maryland, living with her husband and 2 children in Calvert County. And for the last 4 years, she's taken an active role in the gun violence prevention movement, working alongside a number of other dedicated advocates. She's the newest member of my office, and so I'd like to ask that you join me in welcoming Cara Dudley, my Deputy Chief of Staff.
Welcome, welcome. Chair Senator from the 44th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are thrilled to welcome to Annapolis today students from the Park School of Baltimore, an amazing school in the 11th District, who sent to us 9th through 12th graders today for its career day. They will be visiting both the House and the Senate, learning about amazing history of our State House and visiting with legislators from the 11th. Okay, I can't read this part.
Or maybe others.
There you go. The senator from the 11th, who is a mom of 2 Park School graduates, is unable to join them today because of her absence. So I wanted to make certain that they knew that us here in Baltimore County, we welcome them and look forward to having a wonderful visit.
All right, welcome, welcome. Park students, are they behind us? Do we have students behind us? No? On this side? Do we have any Park students on this side? No? Okay, so we'll see if we can find them. They may be over in the house, so when they do, we'll make sure to say hello. Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Senator from the 45th District, followed by the Senator from St. Mary's.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the unique opportunity to introduce one of the folks that's newly working in my office, my intern, Destiny Bell. Mr. President, I got to meet Destiny back when she was in high school at IND and been able to watch her trajectory matriculate through the University of Maryland College Park. She's currently a senior. She's a daughter of Baltimore. And just, you know, Mr. Senate President, the one thing that I think about is the responsibility that we all have to do is to reach our hand back and lift as we climb. And I think that we're doing just that when we make sure that we lift up our shining stars like Destiny Bell. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well said, Senator. Welcome, Destiny. Welcome. Enjoy your session today, or your time today on the floor. Yes, Chair recognizes Senator from St. Mary's.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to recognize the Doctor of the Day, Dr. Ann Banfield from District 29. She works at MedStar Medical Group, Women's Health Center in Leonardtown, Maryland.
All right, thank you, Senator. Thank you for the Doctor of the Day. I think maybe coming over from the House, if we see the doctor, we'll make sure to say hello again. Thank you. All the way from Southern Maryland. Yes, Chair recognizes Senator from the 27th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. And this will be a partial repeat of what was mentioned from the Senator from Montgomery County. We have 2 folks from Calvert County in the up in the gallery. One has been working in that very same senator's office for a while, and it's Dwayne Rager. And Ms. Cara Dudley was mentioned earlier. They do tireless work in Calvert, and as the largest of my 3 county footprints, I definitely want to recognize them and say thank you for your efforts.
Wonderful. Thank you, Senator. Welcome, welcome. 27th has got all sorts of territory covered, all over the place. That tri-county coverage. Excellent. All right, any other introductions? Any other introductions? Before we jump in, just a quick note. We're checking into the bells in James. We're not quite sure if the bells are ringing, so we're going to have OIS check out. I don't know if senators have heard the bells at all, but they were ringing while we were over there for caucus, but I don't think anybody heard it. So we're going to see if there's maybe a slight technical malfunction there that we'll address when available. All right. Any other business before we jump in? All right, we'll waive the reading of the journal from the prior legislative day. We have some more bills to be introduced. This is calendar number 11. Clerk will read the bills.
Senate Bill 239, Senator Feldman, State Employee and Retirement Health and Welfare Benefits Program, Domestic Partnerships, Budget and Taxation.
Majority Leader moves to be considered the reading of the bills. We have an announcement by the President. Clerk will read the announcement.
In accordance with Rule 33D, the following legislation has been reassigned as indicated below. Senate Bill 198, Senator Augustine, Elevator Safety Privately Owned Single-Family Residential Elevators Inspection and Registration Requirements, reassigned to Finance.
All right. Bill will be reassigned. We have a message from the Executive. Clerk will read the message.
Dear Mr. President, this is to inform you of my intent to withdraw 48 recessed appointments previously submitted to the Senate for advice and consent. I will submit new nominations to replace these recess appointments for your consideration next month. The list of recess appointments referenced is attached to this letter. Sincerely, Wes Moore, Governor.
All right, message having been read is ordered journalized. Senators, just this is the, so it'll be on your floor calendars. We just received the updated letter. So it's 48 individuals. These are individuals who were named as recess appointments previously, changeover in administration. There were, I think, roughly 300, somewhere in that range. And so these 48 have been withdrawn and will not be, they were in the Executive Nominations Committee, have now since been withdrawn. So they'll be reappointed with presumably different individuals sometime this session as soon as possible. All right. Next piece of business here is another message from the executive. The clerk will read the message.
Dear Mr. President, in accordance with Article 2, Section 13 of the Constitution of Maryland, I am pleased to submit the following Cabinet Secretary appointment nominations for confirmation by the Maryland State Senate. These individuals bring both excellence and equity to the offices for which they have been nominated. I am confident they will provide the strength of expertise and leadership to install confidence across our communities, make state government work for all of our citizens, and leave no one in Maryland behind. I am also pleased to submit 2 district court judges for reappointment. I look forward to your favorable approval of these nominees and thank you for your partnership. Sincerely, Wes Moore, Governor.
Message having been read is ordered journalized. Again, Senators, another hot executive nominations letter right off the presses. We've got these are the secretaries, so they will be referred. The names will be referred to the Committee on Executive Nominations, and I believe we'll be moving along shortly with executive nominations on Mondays again. So, all right, I think that means the desk. Let's double check. The desk appears to be clear. Let's do announcements. Chair of Finance, announcements.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance will meet at 1 p.m. today with a briefing from the Maryland Healthcare Commission and the Health Services Cost Review Commission, 1 o'clock in the committee room.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chair of Education, Energy, and the Environment.
Yes, Education, Energy, and Environment will meet at 1:30 today, and just I want to make this clear, we're on a joint briefing on the troubled 529 plan with the Budget and Tax Committee, and it will be in the Budget and Tax Committee. Do not show up to our committee room. That's at 1:30, followed immediately by bill hearings, about 5 or 6 bills on education immediately after the briefing. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair of Budget and Tax.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we will start at 1 o'clock. We'll start with a briefing first with the new comptroller, and then we will have that briefing on the 529 plan. Following that, we'll also have a briefing on the major wastewater treatment plants in the state. And then finally, we'll end with a briefing from the Marylanders Against Poverty. So big, big day of briefings. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator. Chair of Judicial Proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Judicial Proceedings Committee will meet today at 1 p.m. in the committee room for a briefing on juvenile justice, specifically auto charging of youth. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Delegations. Any delegations? Joint committees? Peers. Any other committee announcements? Any other event announcements? Yes, Chair, recognizes Senator from District 6.
Thank you, Mr. President. You want to start your day off right? This is what you need to do. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the Near Room, we have our Bible study. And you can start off great. We have a good prayer together. We have a little Bible study. And before you leave, you have a smile on your face, I guarantee it, or you have your money back. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Excellent. Senator from the Eastern Shore, was there an announcement? 37th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to offer a little announcement of sympathy and just to make everybody aware. I know there are a number of relations with the Maryland State Firemen's Association, but Jimmy Malone with that organization is not doing well, and he needs our prayers right now.
Thanks. Okay, thank you for that announcement. Did not know that. Thank you. Ooh, not good. Thank you for that, making us aware. All right. Other announcement. I think we are joined by the House pages potentially over here. Welcome to the Senate, House pages. Glad you all could join us. Get to see some real legislating on this side of that. No, I'm just kidding. The bicameral legislature. And I think we're also joined by Park School. Yes, I see those who are here for Career Day. Welcome. We announced you, but you were not here yet. So welcome. We hope that you enjoy your visit to Annapolis today, and look forward to connecting with you. Excellent. All right. Any other? Yes, Chair recognizes Senator from Harford.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, we've had a pretty mild winter. It's been pretty nice out there, and I think there's nothing better to do right now than take a walk in the Chesapeake Bay. I'm getting up, giving my annual announcement ahead of time of the Polar Bear Plunge. It's an incredible event for some incredible athletes, and several of us in this chamber have done it for several years. It's going to be next Friday at 3 o'clock. We as a General Assembly will do it. Pretty sure there'll be some House members that'll join us, some senators. I'm not calling anybody out yet. I got a couple more days of making announcements, and I'll start calling people out and challenging them like the former Senator Capital Budget Chairman did to me several years ago and got me into it. But hey, put it on your calendar. It's a great event for a great group of kids and young adults. So Polar Bear Plunge next Friday about 3 o'clock. I'm sorry, February 3rd. We're looking at like 12 or 1 o'clock that we're going to jump in. So stay tuned.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator. It was a fun time last year. It was a fun time. Not too cold last year. What was that?
Well, it wasn't, but real quick. So last year, just to give you a quick story, normally when you go in, they've got police and fire in dry suits out there in case anybody has a problem. Unfortunately, we got out late and got there so late they didn't have anybody. So we went out on our own. Nobody was there to save us.
We made it
just
back.
ourselves.
We made it back.
We got
I was
out.
ready to
we
go
got in
swim
and got
and catch
out.
somebody, No, it worked out well. It was great. Yes, Chair recognizes Senator from 27th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, Thursday morning will be our first Senate Veterans Caucus meeting. Check your emails. It'll be virtual. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? If not, we'll do a quorum call before we adjourn.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 41 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, Chair recognizes the Senate President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate stands adjourned until Wednesday, January 25th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. without objection, so ordered. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.